What time did you go to bed last night after the game?
After the game, probably I got a couple of calls. I didn't get in till about 1 o'clock, and we'll be back in the office. We're back in the office now. We have a noon game, 4 o'clock deadline, getaway day. The Atlanta Braves. So yeah, it's been it's going to be a packed day for us.
Does that make the day harder knowing, I mean, you have a day game the same day as a deadline. I don't know how that usually falls, but I would think it's better for you. You can concentrate more on the trade talk during the day if it's a 7:05 versus a 12.
I mean, I like the midnight. It used to be midnight. The deadline was at midnight. I liked it better then. A 4 o'clock deadline. I think it's better for. I think it's more of a media event at 4 o'clock. But the midnight deadline was always good because you could hunker down in your war room and just not pay attention. Kind of after the game, you get done, you get back in, you're working during the game, and then after the game, you've got a couple hours to get it done. But we'll make do. We've got till 4 o'clock, and we're hard at work, and no stone goes unturned, and we've been working extremely hard the last week, so we'll continue today.
Mike, I'm wondering if you ever do the move, which the junkies do during these conference calls that we occasionally have with clients. We utilize the mute button so that you're partaking in the call, but you can go about and do whatever you want and joke around, and you're getting credit for being on the call. If you receive, a ridiculous offer and somebody's calling you, trying to rob you, do you ever use the mute button and go about your business?
No, it's each of these calls are really important. I think that to me the rapport and the respect factor you have with your fellow general managers is very, very important. And everyone has a reputation in how they do their business, and just like everything else, everyone has a kind of a playbook, and each guy has their own style and their own playbook. Some guys, come and shoot, more towards the target, and some guys work around the periphery a little bit, and we have to, you work a little bit harder to get to where you want to go. So, you take all the calls as they are, and, because every team's in a different place at this time of year, trade deadline times. Sometimes, you're in sell mode. We've been there before. We've done well in sell mode. The last 8 years we've been in buy mode. So, we've done well on that and gotten what we needed. So, it depends on where you're at and what you're looking for, how aggressive you want to be. All sorts of parameters come into play when you're talking to your peers. And I think the most important thing is to respect the person you're talking to, and to me, I don't want to waste anybody's time, because every trade you make, there's 100 trades that don't work. So, and they all take time. So I don't want to waste people's time. And those calls, when they're kind of, I believe, the ridiculous asks, they last very short. Very short.
I know you're not going to break any news and sort of tell us anything, but we know you're going to make moves. You always do. In the last, let's say, 2-3 days, can you at least give us sort of a rough idea, though, like how many deals have you been offered or you offered? Give me a number. It's been 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 deals, and how many of them in the last you actually been close to pulling off?
Well, there's always proposals. There's names, bandied back and forth, and you try and whittle down to get to a place where you have a realistic conversation that gets you to a couple places. We've been close to a couple of deals that have not come to fruition as of yet, but we continue to talk, and a lot of times there's a deadline for a reason. A lot of people wait to the deadline to make their decisions, and
how late can you make it, Mike? Can you make it at 3:59, or does that have to be before that?
You can finish it at 3:59, but there's so much that goes into it. There's medicals that have to be looked at by our doctors. So if you better begin it well before that to get it done by 3:59.
All right. So after watching last night's game, 11-8 loss to Fedde, obviously a rough night for him. I know you like Fedde, and you rely on him, especially when guys go down and hit the injured list. I know you're probably looking at bullpen help. Most teams are, but with the 4th and 5th starter right now, kind of guys who you either call up for a spot start or fill-ins for injured guys. Are you kind of looking for a starter? Is that possible that you can make a move for a veteran? A guy's going to be a free agent next year that you don't have to give up a lot for?
Well, I mean, that's always the balance. What do you give up, and what are you getting back? How much control do you have? How much does he improve your team? What is the outlook of the other starting rotation? And I look at it this way. We've got our big four. They're as good or better than anybody in the league. And our fifth starter has been somebody that from our organization that gives us depth. So we go into the season with Hellickson and Joe Ross and Eric Fetty and Austin Voth. We've got Will Crow down in the farm system. We feel that we can cobble together a fifth starter role that can help us compete. We think we've done that. The fifth starter is our fifth starter ERA from the games that are started without our big four is about 5.1. That's somewhere in the middle of the fifth starter.
Okay.
Fifth starters in the league, so it's not as terrible as it looked last night. Fetty had a bad night, didn't attack the zone, and he needs to get better. But we trust Ross and Fetty and Voth. These guys were big prospects when they were prospects. They've shown flashes of being very effective major league pitchers. Don't forget Fetty threw a 2 or 3 hitter, a 1-run game, a 6-inning start against the Orioles. He gave up 1 run against the Rockies to start before this one. So, you kind of chalk it up to you got to get better, and they got to perform better. There's no doubt about it. For us to compete, they have to perform better.
Sorry to interrupt, but do you feel good about Max coming off the injured list when he's eligible, or do you think he might miss a couple starts?
We're going to go take it easy with Max. We've played. I think we have the best record since the All-Star break in the league without Max. He hasn't pitched for us since the break. So we're going to try and keep our head above water till we get this guy right. We're going to get him right before he pitches. He felt really good yesterday. So we're optimistic that it's not going to be a long-term thing. He's eligible to come off. I think Monday in San. If a shorter pitch on, because we're going to have to work him back into getting back to his 110, 115 pitches like he normally is. So, but we're optimistic that he's going to do well, and he's going to be a factor for us in the near future.